friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 30th of September 2020. You can see here there are two big news of the day, but we will discuss 5 to 6 very important current affairs in today's lecture. So watch till the end. But before that, I want to discuss with you two or three very important things. One is the Affairs Clouds PDF subscription. You can buy our Affairs Cloud PDF subscription by visiting our website, that is Affairs Cloud /current affairs, or you can directly go to the subscription box. In the subscription box, there is a link. You can directly visit to the subscription page. And what you will get in the subscription, you will get the English news as well as in Hindi current affairs. And in English, you will get the daily current affairs. You will get weekly current affairs. You will get weekly tests so you can evaluate yourself. You will also get the monthly PDF. So in the monthly PDF, you will get the top 100 current affairs. So you can revise the best current affairs of the month. You can revise the banking current affairs by the banking, finance and the economy PDF. Very useful for the banking aspirants. And there is a current affairs pocket PDF. This is very useful if you want to revise the current affairs. And these three PDFs are the need of the students. So we created these type of the PDFs. These current affairs are provided in English as well as in Hindi. So these are provided at very minimal cost, and on that minimal cost we are providing 10% extra discount by using this code ASH10. You can use this code ASH10 and you can get the 10% discount. Now let's start with our first question, and first question is, in which state Prime Minister Modi ji inaugurated the first of its kind Ganga Avlokan Museum on River Ganga? So mark under very important section, guys. This is very important question. So it will be established under the Namami Gange program, and it will be established by the National Mission for the Clean Ganga, that is also known as the Namami Gange. So why this museum is important? Because this museum will showcase the culture, biodiversity and the Clean Ganga project in the river Ganga. And it will also help the pilgrims to understand the heritage associated with the river Ganga. Modi ji also inaugurated so many projects in the state of Uttarakhand, or you can say with related to the Namami Gange. So remember this state of Uttarakhand because Ganga started from Uttarakhand from the Gangotri glacier, and when it starts it is known as the Bhagirathi. Then after meeting Alkananda at the Devprayag, it then goes to the Uttar Pradesh, then goes to Bihar, and then finally drain into Bengal area, that is the Bay of Bengal. So remember this also. You can see here Prime Minister inaugurates 6 major projects in the Uttarakhand to make river Ganga arrival and nirmal. He also launched 100 days campaign. It is known as the special 100-day campaign to ensure the Jal Jeevan Mission, or to ensure the drinking water connection to every school and Anganwadi, and it will be started on 2nd October 2020. It is known as the special 100-day campaign to complete the Jal Jeevan Mission. And you have to remember that according to Jal Jeevan Mission, all the rural household will be connected to tap water by the year 2024, but this is just to mark the anniversary of Gandhiji, that is on the 2nd October 2020. So remember this also. Move to the next question. Which state bagged the prestigious Pacific Asia Travel Association Grand Title Award 2020 for marketing? Mark under very important. I forgot to write down here. That is a very important section. This award is given for marketing of the tourism, or to increase the tourism activity in the state. And this award given to Kerala. So remember this prestigious Pacific Asia Travel Association, that is the PATA Grand Title Award, goes to Kerala. If the word is like PATA Grand Title Award, instead of this grand, that is the Gold Title Award. Instead of grand, there is a word gold. Then this award goes to Karnataka Tourism. So remember this. If it is a gold title, then it is goes to Karnataka. It is grand, then it is a Kerala. And why this award goes to Kerala? Because Kerala achieved a record tourism growth rate in the year of 2019, and there was a marketing strategy to revive tourism in the Kerala, because there was a very heavy floods in 2018, and to revive tourism there was a marketing strategy of the Kerala government. So to honor this type of strategy, Kerala tourism gets this type of award, that is the PATA Grand Title Award. And if it is gold, then it is remembered by state name Karnataka. Now you can see here PATA Gold Awards 2020. Gold awards won by the Karnataka, and the Grand Award won by the Kerala. PATA is a basically organization known as Pacific Asia Travel Association, headquarters in Bangkok, Thailand. So remember this also. because Bangkok, Thailand is very famous for tourism. That's why Pata's headquarters is in Thailand, that is in Bangkok. Moving to the next question. India and which country hold joint maritime exercise, that is the GIM-X 2022 in the North Arabian Sea? Most important question. Mark under important section. So mark under very important section or the most important section. That is a GIM-X, that is the maritime exercise. So J and I stands for India, M stands for the maritime, EX stands for the exercise. Now you have to just code the country with named J. So, and this country is very simple, that is the Japan. Japan new prime minister is the Yoshihide Suga, and the capital you all know, that is the Tokyo. Currency is the Japanese yen. So remember this also. So remember GIM-X, that is the Japan and India maritime exercise. So moving to next question. BSE has signed a MOU with which bank in order to empower the small and medium enterprises? This is very important. To empower the small and medium enterprises, Bombay Stock Exchange has tied up with a bank, and you have to tell me what is the name of the bank. So this bank is Yes Bank. Through BSE and Yes Bank, through this partnership aims to make small and medium scale industries more competitive and to fast track their growth through solutions that address their business challenges. It means the Bombay Stock Exchange and the Yes Bank will provide a awareness and also a knowledge sharing program so that the business can be expanded or business challenges can be addressed. So this is the main focus, so that the COVID-19 problem can be taken care and the challenges faced by the business due to the COVID-19 can be taken care. And you all know about the Bombay Stock Exchange. Bombay Stock Exchange head office is in Mumbai. That is very simple. And who is the CEO of the Bombay Stock Exchange? That is the Ashish Kumar Chauhan. So remember this, Ashish Kumar Chauhan, that is the CEO of the Bombay Stock Exchange. And there is an index of Bombay Stock Exchange, that is the Sensex. You can see here Sensex, that is known as the sensitive index. It is a combination of 30 companies. There is another index, that is the Nifty, that is also known as National Index of 50 companies. It comprises 50 companies. 50 companies. Who is the head of the Yes Bank? This is very important question because Yes Bank in the very crisis. So who is the head, or you can say MD and CEO of the Yes Bank? That is the Prashant Kumar. He is the currently head of the Yes Bank. Where is the headquarter of the Yes Bank? That is also in Mumbai. Bombay Stock Exchange headquarter is also in Mumbai. So you can see in the picture that BSE and the Yes Bank empower that is the small and medium scale industries. So next question is, which bank became the first bank to enable document embedding? That is the very important question, mark under very important section. So first of all, we have to need to know about the document embedding. Now it is actually a feature so that banks with the functionality of transmitting a PDF document up to 1 MB of size along with the LC and the BG messages. Now what is the meaning of LC? That is the letter of credit. BG is the bank guarantee. So through this feature, there will be a transmission of digitally signed documents which ensure reliability of the transactions. It means through the application of the bank, you can transmit the documents, that is the bank's letter of credit and the bank's guarantee. So it can be shared and the digitally signed so that it can be authenticated. And this can be used by the bank's app. I am telling you the name of the app, so you can guess what is the name of the bank. The name of the app is I@connect SFMS. So tell me what is the name of bank now. Connect SFMS, that is I@connect SFMS. What is the meaning of SFMS? That is the structured financially messaging system, and name of the app is the I@connect, and it is an app of IDBI, that is Industrial Development Bank of India. So remember this also, Industrial Development Bank of India. Who is the chairman of the Industrial Development Bank of India? That is M.R. Kumar. Remember this, M.R. Kumar. Who is the CEO? That is the Rakesh Sharma. Rakesh Sharma. This is important. Chairman is not important, but MD is very important. That is the Rakesh Sharma. He is also the CEO. Headquarters is the Mumbai, and tagline, banking for all, and Aao Soche Bada. That is also a tagline. Aao Soche Bada. It means let us think big. Remember this. You can see here IDB Bank, that is the first bank to enable document embedding feature on SFMS managed by IFTAS. Now, what is the meaning of IFTAS? That is the Indian Financial Technology and Allied Services, who will manage this SFMS, that is the document embedding system. Moving to next news, and it is from picture that Indian economy will be contracted by 11% by the year 2021. It is rated by the ICRA. It means this is predicted by the ICRA that in financial year 2020 to 21, Indian economy will be contracted due to COVID-19. Now, if you want to remember, you can remember this ICRA because it is a credit rating agency of India. Otherwise, there are so many organizations which are predicting India's economy, which are contracting in 2020-21. That is Goldman Sachs, that is Chrysler, that is S&P, that is there is a company named as the Fitch, there is a company known as the Moody's. So remember these companies contraction prediction. So this is very important. So remember this under very important section. Move to next question. What will be the time period of the defense procurement procedure according to the Defense Acquisition Procedure 2020 document? Now the news is very simple. It seems like difficult, but it is very simple. That under the defense sector, there is a procurement of the arms and the weapons. So remember this, there will be procurement of the arms and the weapons so that we can use in future and we can use in the distress level. So it is very important that there will be procurement in the defense sector and we can manufacture more now because there we started procurement in the defense sector. And this defense sector procurement started under the Defense Acquisition Procedure 2020 document presented by Rajnath Singh ji. And it is started for the 5 year. It means till 2025 the procurement will be completed. So it will boost the, you can say, Atmanirbhar Bharat concept, or you can say that the Make in India concept in the defense sector, because we can procure the weapons. It means we can manufacture more so that the procurement can be done more. So it is very important. Remember this, for 2025 till the 2025, this procurement will be done. You can see here Rajnath Singh ji, Acquisition Council headed by Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath ji give approval to arms and equipment worth rupees 2290 crores so that we can acquire or we can procure these type of the equipments. Next news, recently Syed Anwar Taimur passed away. She was the first and the only woman chief minister of which state? Mark under very important question because she died recently and she was the first and the only woman chief minister of that state. It means no woman chief minister one under this state, and you have to tell me which is that state under which this Syed Anwar Taimur won the election and become the chief minister, but she passed away recently. And you have to remember one more important thing there, that Saida Anwar Taimur is a Muslim lady. Basically, we can say was a Muslim lady. And she was the first Muslim. She was the first Muslim. She basically till date, she is the first Muslim woman CM of any state. Remember this. First Muslim woman CM of any state died. So this is very, very important question. She was born in Assam, so she was a chief minister of Assam state. First woman, you can say, first woman and the only chief minister of the state, and the first woman chief minister who belongs to the Muslim caste, and that is also Saida Anwar Taimur. She was also 4-time MLA of the Assam state and 2 times Rajya Sabha member also. She was nominated in 1988 and elected in 2004 in the Rajya Sabha. So she had an illustrated political career spanning over the 4 decades. So this is very important because she was elected 4 times in the Legislative Assembly of the Assam. So this is very important. And she was the chief minister of the state in 1980. So remember this also, from 1980 to 1981. So remember this. So a very important lady, mark under very important section. 2 or 3 points are important. I am repeating all the points again, that she is the first and the only woman chief minister of the Assam state. She died, and she was the first and the only woman who belongs to the Muslim caste and become a chief minister of any state of India. That is also Saida Anwar Taimur. So remember this also. And Assam state is very important, guys, because there is a Kaziranga National Park, there is a Manas Tiger Reserve and the National Park, Dibru-Saikhowa Biosphere Reserve is also there, Nameri National Park is also there. So this is very important state, remember this. There is a riverine island, that is the Majoli, that is also in Assam, created by the Brahmaputra river. Moving to our next question, you can see the photo of the Anwar Taimur, that is the former CM of passed away. Next question, which insurance companies identify as the domestic systematically important insurers for 2020-21? Now, what is the meaning of the domestic systematically important insurers? It means these are very important companies and maximum, you can say, insurers are dependent on these companies. So it means these companies should be saved by any means. So this is the main meaning of the domestic systematically important insurers. It means the company's value are so much that it should be continued functioning of DIIs is important for the uninterrupted availability of insurance services to the national economy. So these companies are very important. This is also a category of the banks. Then there should be written at DSIB. It means the domestically systematically important banks. So it is related to banks, but now we are talking about the insurers. So these insurance companies which are very much valuable and very much important for Indian economy, these companies are all of these. It means the answer is A, B, C, all of these. It means the answer is D. So all the three companies are very important for Indian economy or the insurance sector. You can say a New India Insurance Company, Life Insurance Company, and the GIC. So two are very simple, LIC and the GIC. Now, LIC is the first company, GIC is for the general insurance, and New India Insurance Company. You can see in the image that LIC, GIC, and there is a company of the New Insurance. These are very systematically important insurance companies. Now remember, where is the headquarter of LIC? LIC headquarter is in Mumbai. And who is the chairman? That is the M.R. Kumar. Remember this, who is the chairman of LIC? That is M.R. Kumar. And these all the insurance regulatory companies are regulated by Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India, and this was developed in 1999. And where is the headquarter of IRDAI? That is in the Hyderabad. Remember this, Hyderabad is in Telangana. Don't mark Andhra Pradesh, it is now in Telangana. And who is the chairman of IRDAI? That is very important question, mark under very important section. That chairman is Dr. Subhash C. Khuntia. Remember Dr. Subhash C. Khuntia, or you can remember Subhash Khuntia. This is very important. Mark the LIC is very important. IRDAI is important. I am repeating again. LIC headquarter is in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and chairman is M.R. Kumar. IRDAI headquarter is in Hyderabad, Telangana, and who is the chairman? That is the Subhash Khuntia. So remember this. So moving to our next question. This news is from Picture and Learn from Picture series. You can see two images, that is Prime Minister Modi ji, and second person, that is the Prime Minister of the Denmark. Her name is the Mette Frederiksen. So there is a bilateral summit between the two countries, and it is just to strengthen the relation between the two countries, or you can say this strengthen the bilateral relation between the two countries. So there is also a memorandum of understanding in the field of intellectual property cooperation, so that we can make India Denmark Skill Institute, so that the Danish companies operating in India to select the people they require from local skilled population. This is basically the intellectual property right. So not so important news, just remember the Prime Minister of the Denmark, that is the Mette Frederiksen. This is just to remember. And what is the capital of the Denmark? Is the Copenhagen. What is the currency? That is the Danish krone. Remember this, Danish krone. And the capital is the Copenhagen. And Prime Minister is the Mette Frederiksen. Just remember this thing, not other thing, not important. Now moving to next question. Who become the brand ambassador of Vedantu online platform education? That is very important, mark under very important section. Who become the brand ambassador of Vedantu? So remember this news. And who become brand ambassador? That is the Amir Khan. Remember this. Amir Khan also recently become the brand ambassador of Seat Tires. So this is also to remember. Virat Kohli is brand ambassador of the Great Learning, that is also education platform. Sonu Sood is brand ambassador of the Acer Sood. That is, you can remember this, by the Acer India. And Amitabh Bachchan is now campaigning for the RBI. That is for the fraud cases in the ATMs or the debit cards. So remember this. Virat Kohli is a brand ambassador of the Great Learning. Recently, I am telling you, Amir Khan become a brand ambassador of Vedantu and the Seat Tires. Sonu Sood become the brand ambassador of Acer India. And Amitabh Bachchan, that is the campaigning RBI for the frauds of the debit card and the credit cards. Now moving to our next question. You can see in the picture that Vedantu live online tutorial ropes Amir Khan as a brand ambassador. Next question. Who wrote a book titled as A Banquet of Flowers, which was launched by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh? So this book is very important because it is launched by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh ji, and you have to tell me that who wrote this book, that is A Banquet of Flowers. So this book is related to the inner working of the society from the perspective of changing values and the culture, where she subtly highlights the strengths and the weakness of the contemporary society. So this is very important related to the society subject. And this book is written by Dr. Krishna Saxena, very renowned lady, that is Dr. Krishna Saxena. So you can see the picture, that is the A Banquet of Flowers. Now this is launched by Rajnath Singh. Because it is launched by Rajnath Singh, so it is very important book. Remember this. Moving to the next question. First ever International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Waste observed on which day? This is very important because this is the first time that this type of day is celebrated at international level. International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and the Waste. So why this day was celebrated? Because it was observed to promote and implement global efforts to resolve the issue of food waste and to take steps towards zero hunger and address the problem of climate change through sustainable food habits. So that's why the theme of the International Day was Stop Food Loss and Waste, for the people, for the planet, so that we can feed the food to the malnutrition weakness of the malnutrition child, and we can save the food loss and the waste of the at the global level. So this is celebrated on the 29th of September. So remember guys, this is celebrated on 29th of September. So how you will remember this 29th September? Remember, at the age of 29, you learned about that how we can minimize the food loss and waste. At the age of 29, you learn that how to minimize the food loss and the waste. So you can remember this. So this is the International Day of the Awareness of Food Loss and Waste. It is on 29th September. Theme was Stop Food Loss and Waste, for the people, for the planet, so that we can save the food and we can feed the feed those people who are not able to buy the food. It means we are going for a zero hunger prospectus. That is the zero hunger prospectus. Now, moving to next question. Who is appointed as the chairman of Telecom Regulatory Authority of India? Mark under most important question. Mark this question under the very important or the most important question. Who is appointed as the chairman of the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India? That is the TRAI. So, I am giving you 5 seconds for this. You have to tell me who is appointed. And I am giving you it that R.S. Sharma was old. It means he was former Telecom Regulatory Authority of India chairman. Now you have to tell me who is currently appointed as the chairman. That is P.D. Waghela. So remember this, P.D. Waghela ji appointed as the chairman of the TRAI, that is the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. And R.S. Sharma was very important because otherwise the chairman tenure of the TRAI is 3 years. But R.S. Sharma time period was 5 years. So this was a different question can be created, and R.S. Sharma was for 5 years, but P.D. Waghela is appointed for the 3 years. So you have to remember. Or the maximum age you can see here, that is it can be the 65. Who is the Meeta Makan? That is the Lakshmi Vilas Bank directors of the head of the director, you can say. V.K. Yadav, that is the CEO of the railways. So remember, these all the options are very important. You can see here P.D. Waghela appointed as the TRAI chairman. Where is the head office of TRAI? That is the New Delhi. That is very simple. Head office in New Delhi. TRAI was established in 1997. So remember this also. 1997. Move to next question. Which state launched Jal Kala scheme for small and marginal farmers? Mark under very important. All the state question related to schemes or any initiative, mark under very important section, because in banking exam and in SSC exam they are asking about schemes, that this scheme is started by which state. So remember this. So that's why mark every news of the state under the a very important question. Now what is the meaning of Jal Kal scheme? It means the state government will drill borewells, and you know borewells, that is the down to earth, and borewells in arid and uplands in the state, where an expenditure of almost state is expanding, that is 2300 crore. The state is spending 2300 crore over a period of 4 years. It means this scheme is implemented for 4 years, and borewells will be drilled free of cost for needy farmers, and the state government will provide free motors to small and marginal farmers. So this is very important to strengthen the small and marginal farmers, or you can say to strengthen the agriculture of the state, because they are drilling the borewells in the arid area where rainfall is very less, and the uplands where farming is not utilized. and they are spending so much amount on that scheme for a 4 year time period. So you have to remember two or three things. One is the what is the Jalkal scheme, that is to for the drilling up of the bore wells, and it is free of cost, and it is for the small and marginal farmers, and time period is for that is the 4 years. And the scheme is introduced just to benefit the farmers who are dependent on rains, and that's why there is a scheme related to the borewell. And this scheme is known as YSR Jalkal scheme, and YSR, you know, that scheme belongs to the Andhra Pradesh. That is very important. And in Andhra Pradesh, there is a very important port, that is the Vishakhapatnam port, and there is a Krishnapatnam port. Vishakhapatnam is very important. And there is a very important river, that is the Krishna, flowing from the Andhra Pradesh. There is a Tungabhadra river, that is the, you can say, largest tributary of the Krishna. And there is some part of the Godavari also there. So this is very important, Andhra Pradesh. So remember this. You can see here YSR Jalkal, that is free of cost borewell drilling for eligible farmers. And there is a YSR Jalkal, that is the same scheme, but free borewell for the farmers in 3 steps. They will provide in the 3 steps. Just remember, the scheme is related to whom? That is related to the farmers. Move to next question. Which state launched the stage 2 of the Jaga mission, that is the state livable habitat mission? So remember this, because it is again related to state, and this is again related to scheme. So tell me, which state started stage 2nd? It means this scheme is already applicable in that state. It means already the benefits of this scheme given by the state government. But this is the stage 2nd of this scheme, that is known as the Jaga scheme. That is the state livable habitat mission. What is under this scheme? Under this scheme, all the slums of the state, that is very important, all the slums of the state will be converted into Adarsh colonies. It means ideal colonies. So all the slums will be converted to ideal colonies. You can say this can be related to the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. That is the same scheme. That is, the slums can be converted into the small colonies, or they are given with the small plots, so that government can buy land, and the government can prepare houses for this slum area peoples. And this state is very important, that is Odisha. Odisha is very important. Naveen Patnaik ji is chief minister, and Odisha is very important for the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve, that is the Bhitarkanika National Park, that is Usha Koti National Park. There is a very important port, that is the Paradip Port, also in Odisha. Odisha is very important. Simlipal Biosphere Reserve, there are total 18 biosphere reserve in India. So Odisha is very important. So remember this Jag scheme, that is related to the Odisha, and initiate to make Odisha slum free in the next 3 years. So they will build all the they will convert all the slum area into the Adarsh colonies within the next 3 years. Move to next question. Again, this is a state government scheme. Which state government launched the scheme? Livelihood Generation Program for the returned migrant worker due to COVID-19 pandemic. So this type of scheme started by so many states. But you have to remember the name of the, that is Livelihood Generation Program for returned migrant worker due to COVID-19 pandemic. And this type of scheme is started by the state of Nagaland. So remember this type of scheme is started by Nagaland, and the returnee should be indigenous migrant worker from Nagaland. This is the eligibility of the scheme. The returnee who is returning to the state should be indigenous migrant workers from Nagaland, and should have registered with the state COVID-19 returner portal. It means he should belong to the Nagaland state, and he should register under the COVID-19 returner portal that belongs to the Nagaland state. They should have reached Nagaland between 22 May and between 6 August. It means if they are returned between 22 May to 6 August, they are eligible for the scheme. So there are 2 conditions for this scheme. So you have to just remember what is the condition of the scheme, or you have to just remember the name of the state, for they are providing the skill development training to the migrant workers, so that they can earn some money and can generate some amount of money for their livelihood. And this scheme is started by the Nagaland. Who is the chief minister of Nagaland? That is the Neiphiu Rio. You can say here Neiphieu. That is the Neiphiu Rio. You can remember this N Rio. That is easy. N Rio. Governor is the Ravindra Narayan Ravi. RNR. Now moving to next question, you can see in the picture also livelihood generation program for returned migrant due to COVID-19. It is you have to remember it is funded by the NEC. This is not important that who is funding this, but you have to remember Northeastern Council. Who is the chairman of Northeastern Council? That is the Home Minister. That is our Home Minister Amit Shah ji. So it is by Nagaland government. Moving to next question, and it is from the picture that September 29, 2020 is the World Heart Day. Now you can relate the 29, that is the International Day to stop food loss and the waste. You can remember now with connecting these 2 days, that is on the 29th September. How you will connect that? If you start to resolve the issue of food waste, or you can say if you are doing some steps towards zero hunger, then all the people of the world will get some type of food, and this will enhance their heart. That's why you can remember that with the saving of the food, you can give happiness to many of people. That's why they will give you hearts. And this is the World Heart Day that is celebrated on 29th of September 2020. So you can relate these both 2 days so that you can remember that both are celebrated on 29th of September. Now why this day is celebrated, that is the World Heart Day? That is just to raise awareness about the cardiovascular diseases, including heart disease, stroke, and highlights their prevention and the global impact. Because the day aims to educate people that at least 80% of the premature deaths due to heart disease and stroke can be avoided by controlling risk factors such as tobacco use, unhealthy diet, and the physical inactivity. That's why many people are dying due to cardiac arrest. Even in the obituary of the R section, many people died due to cardiac arrest. So that's why there is a need to aware the people how we can control this global impact of the heart disease and the stroke. So remember this, that is on the 29th of September 2020. Now moving to our next question. Which state topped the first ever India's happiness report 2020? Now first country, that was Bhutan, who was evaluating their citizen according to happiness, but India is also now evaluating their citizen according to happiness. And which state topped in the first ever India's happiness report 2020? Mark under most important question. This ranking is conducted all over India. That means it includes 28 states and 8 UTs. 8 UTs, guys, not 9 UTs. That is Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli merged. So that's why there are 8 UTs. So it means total states and UTs are 36. So out of 36, Mizoram tops. So I forgot to put the option here. Just remember, not Manipur. This is the Mizoram. So remember this, Mizoram. Mark Mizoram here. So Mizoram topped the ranking, and second number given to the Punjab, but maximum states comes under the very least happiness. So it is the Odisha, Uttarakhand, it comes under the least happiness. So top 2, that is the Mizoram and the Punjab, comes under the very happy states, and Odisha and Uttarakhand comes under the least happiness. So if you want to remember one state, then Mizoram topped, and Odisha that is on the 36th number. So remember this. So Mizoram topped in the first ever happiness report 2020. So this is all for today. If you like the video, please subscribe this channel and like this video. And guys, provide 300 likes so that we can make more topics. We can give you monthly current affairs. We are now giving you daily current affairs and the weekly current affairs. If you like 300, then we will give you 300 videos of the daily current affairs. So guys, please provide 300 likes so that we can make videos on the daily basis. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence on the general awareness section. It is my personal promise that if you watch the video for 1 month regularly, and if you are reading our current affairs daily, then no question will be left in your current affairs section. And it is our promise that we are doing our best to cover all the current affairs. And thank you for watching this video. Take care.